see what he said.
Oh, good. I get to read the quote for you. So basically, all right. The quote goes, "Quote: They can all go to hell with these hashtags. As far as I'm concerned, no one deserves a chance. All right. First and foremost, you have to earn your chance and your spot on a roster. This is not some movement to just pull somebody up just because. I hate to sit here and say this and talk this way because I like Naomi. Because I like Naomi. Excuse me. But as far as the business goes, you get in on your merit alone. That's it. No buddy system. I know someone's going to hear me say, well, such and such, and that why they doing it. Yes, that may be true, but life's not fair. Sometimes you got to make your own breaks. Sometimes you have to go out there and rise to the occasion when no one thought you could. It may not happen overnight. No one expected me, including myself, to become six-time world champion. So, Father, I've always said, as a black man, it's hard to be a wrestling fan because some of the people that we like, especially like black wrestlers like us, they don't really get the same opportunities as other black wrestlers. As other wrestlers that are not black. How do you feel about what Booker T said, though?
I'm gonna hit you with the classic. I don't condone what he said, but I understand, and I'm gonna explain why. So we both know Booker T. He came up, he's as old school as they come. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Probably when he started in the business, he was wrestling with the likes of Ric Flair and them. So he's considered like a literal veteran in the game, right? And
Right.
then on top of that, this is a man that's been locked up before. So, he's been through it. So I can't fault him for, like, you know what I'm saying, having that type of mentality, because it's an old school mentality. It's that pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get it in. And ain't nobody there were no hashtags for Booker T when I was in the game. So you know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, because there was no hashtags for me and shit, I'm gonna look at it this way and not like conform to the ways of today where everything's like out in the open. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, and I think this is very important, is that when Booker T and them was wrestling, you know what I'm saying? Wrestling wasn't like as open book as it was now. You know what I'm saying? There was appearances to keep. So because of that old school mentality, he said what he said. And I understand what he's trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's saying it out of hate, or I don't think he's saying it to disrespect Naomi. But I just think it's that kind of like old school tough love type of shit. And there's a grown ass man from Texas too, so he's gonna tell it to you straight. But I disagree, because as we also both know, Naomi is like one of the hardest working women in the WWE. This is a woman that has reinvented herself time and time again, and she's excelled in almost every position you put her in. If you put her in mid card, she was the mid card queen for a very, very long time. When she held the SmackDown Women's Championship, she actually had a good reign. You know what I'm saying? She could do she could do the opening slots, she could do the mid cards, and she could do the main events if she wants to. So this is another woman I feel like she's more than earned her due. You know what I'm saying? This is a woman that I love seeing on my TV every time she comes out with her entrance and the way she presents herself, her like the way she moves in the ring. She's actually one of the most athletic wrestlers in the roster in general. So I do think that she's definitely earned her keep. Um, when it came to the loss with Lacey Evans on that SmackDown that triggered the whole Naomi deserves better thing, I was kind of confused myself, because like we all know Naomi's great. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes there may be some days where you gonna take L's, you're gonna take losses. It's happened to the best of us. So I think that personally, the path that Naomi's going, I feel like even if people feel like she's not getting her opportunities, it's not going to take long before she becomes champion again. And I just think that right now the focus is on Bayley and Sasha and Asuka, because those three are kind of like not carrying the women's division, but carrying WWE on their backs as we speak. So yeah.
I've mostly, and I feel, and I'm gonna speak for myself, but I do think I do think most black people feel this the same way. As a black man, it's hard to be a wrestling fan because obviously there are obvious racist shit that's gone on in the business, especially when it comes to WWE. It's like there's no reason, and like for example, Apollo Cruz. I think he's a talented brother. If you see him, he works hard in the ring. He could he could do things little guys do, and he can like do things big guys do. But why? And this is a personal thing. My nickname for him is generic black guy number three because obviously, like as good as he is, it's like his personality and all that other stuff doesn't really carry on into the business. I know he now just got the title ran, and I know like COVID kind of like because I heard he got COVID, and that kind of like messed it up for him right now. But it's just like when you see him, when you see, it's just like he's very generic when it comes to the promos and stuff. Now I love Naomi. Like we both of us, we said it all the time. We love Naomi. I love her glow gimmick, but before that, I thought she was like promo wise, I thought she was generic. When she turned heel, it's obvious she did not like being a heel, and it's just it didn't fit her that well either, and it showed in the and because she was getting no type of pop. And there's one thing if you're like getting booed, that's good as a heel, but when you get no pop, as like that's how you know like some things is not working for her. Now, when she did have her title reign, like you said, it was really good. So it's just like I root for Naomi all the fucking time. I don't like seeing her lose to Lacey Evans. I know you like her, but I'm not that big on Lacey Evans yet. But but that's just me. And one thing I've always said that Naomi, she's kind of like handicapped because she came up in that Divas era. So I felt like people who didn't know who she was before, they probably thought she was trash. Because you know how like most of the wrestlers in the Divas era, like a Natalia, um, Naomi, and I'll even throw Alicia Fox in there because I still think she has the best Northern Light suplex that in the WWE. They kind of like have to like I feel like they have to work twice as hard to where I guess even though like your Sasha Banks, your Oscars, your Baileys, they work hard too. But since they already came in as women wrestlers, not divas, they didn't have to like get that stigma out their name as like divas that can't wrestle. Because obviously you and I both know she came up in that era with her and Cameron was trash. But the thing with Booker T is I don't think he's wrong either because he had to do it himself. And I know a lot of people say Mark Henry is the same way, but Mark Henry is the same had to do it himself either. Now where my black side comes in is just like I feel like Booker T should at least held the title in WWE about five more times than he did in WCW. Because like Booker T, obviously when he came up, and this is during the Monday, and I'm counting the Monday Night Wars and him coming into WWE. You had to go up against Goldberg, Ric Flair, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, NWO, Sting, and did I say Goldberg? If not, Goldberg is one of them. And then like you got the WWE side where you got Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Triple H, DX, The Rock, Undertaker, Kane with the mask, and like the New Age Outlaws and all that other stuff. He had to compete with those people and still like entertain you and like be up there and be able to co-main event WrestleMania with Triple H and all that other stuff, which everybody felt like he should have won that one, especially the way the story goes. So it's just like you see it, the wrestling side of me is like Booker T is right, but the black side of me is like, but you know how this is for like us black folks. It's like we really gotta work hard for like, you know, and Charlotte, like she's already like what 10 times champion,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are sick of seeing Charlotte, and like Sasha Banks, yeah, she won it 5 times, but like if you like, I tell people if you accumulate her days, they're barely a month.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts me because you know how much I love that girl.
Yeah, and you love Sasha Banks, and I'm telling people like, and I know Dion was like so, but I was like, Nia Jax, when she had it at least for like 2 months. It's like a lot of when Alexa Bliss had it, she had it for like damn near what 3 or 4 months. Sasha, she gets it for like 2 weeks and then like have to give it up. They're like looking at her, even though she won it 5 times. Some people will call her a paper champion, and looking at her days is just not like that. So it's just like I feel like just Booker T. I don't think he was like dissing him. I think he's just harder on because we do it all the time to each other. We're harder on each other than like other people because like the old saying, we got to work twice as hard to get half of what they get.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add before we move on to our next topic?
I think the only thing I want to add is I feel like Naomi, her time is coming again. I don't think like it's as obvious as her getting overlooked, but the thing about WWE is that, and I think you hella agree with this, they got a lot of talented people on their roster. I feel like within NXT, within SmackDown and Raw, all of their talent is fire. So it's hard to just commit to one. That's why I feel like Bayley has been champion for so long because she's just been killing it. And she has not slowed down since she's had that championship. Ever since she turned heel. Now, there was times where it was dry. But right now, her and Sasha are literally at the top of their game. And even though Sasha Banks didn't win the match against Asuka, the storyline of her basically holding the championship, is very interesting because, okay, she's not champion officially, but just seeing her be double champions with Bayley, it's a really good feeling to see. You know what I'm saying? Especially when she's been working hard. So, like, I just feel like it's not even that they're not giving Naomi a chance, but it's like Lacey Evans is good too. Natalia's been doing the damn thing for 10 years. She's a heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many talented people on that roster. It's just hard to, like pick one and just, unless, it's been planned that, oh, you're going to be champion for this X amount of time. Adam Cole just lost the championship. He's been champion for like 400 days. So,
yeah, and for the people like I understand like if you're a black wrestler, I understand because it seems like damn, I don't get. I feel like in in a tough love type of way, he is giving a plus because he said many a times Naomi is the best female athlete out there, and he said it himself. If you could like give me a month with her, I can. And a lot of people feel like that. If you could give me a month with her, I feel like I can make her see the business the way like how Booker T sees it. Because let's be real, Booker T had to reinvent himself a couple times, especially with the King Booker when he became King of Ring and he became King Booker. Like people loved it, people loved it, people loved to hate it, and it was good for him. Like that reinvention is good for him when he's on the Raw announcement. Like he's someone I like listening to. I don't care what anybody say. I like hearing Booker T on the Raw announcement.
Same.
It's like it's not normal. No, it's not normal, but it's him. Like I feel like you get him. So
Yeah.
I feel like I just look at it as tough love. And I know like sometimes we look at the old heads like, oh, they're not for us and none of other stuff. Or they say, oh, he's trying to I think one of them was talking about he's trying to play massa or he's trying to protect the brand. It's like, nah, he did it this and a lot of people and I know a lot of older black people are like this too. I did it this way, why can't you? And I know a lot of people felt like this. Like, if I did it this way, and this obviously it worked because he's a two-time Hall of Famer, why can't you? You already like you said, there are so many good fucking wrestlers that you gotta at least like let them know that you're here too. So I feel like your day, even if you're in for like 11 years, you still gotta show up. So on to that. Okay, where do you want to go? You want to go Tory Lanez, Make the Stallion, Kanye, or Nick Cannon?
Let's do Megs.
Okay. Man.